What is up, guys? We are back at the spot from our first video. We saw a couple of Blinkeys from probably around here-ish, and we're riding solo today. Thanks for joining me, though. I've always got my viewers, of course. I've got a big pile of blankets in the back seat there. I'm just gonna lay in the bed of my truck and set up the tripod, I should say. Sorry, and we'll get started. So let's get on it. Stars are coming out.
Hey guys, so this video is going to be a little different. I'm going to give you some tips on how to see your own first UFO. Many of you here have probably already seen one, but if you're hoping to have another encounter, these tips will really help. Tip number 1, you don't want to be under the influence of anything. All of the guided meditations I've ever listened to have all recommended it, and it's best to stick by it. Tip number 2, you can summarize the meditations fairly easily. However, I have seen more action in the sky more frequently when I actually listen to the guided CE5 meditation done by Stephen Greer in the app called CE5 Contact. Tip number 3, your attitude and the state of your mentality. This is one that I've learned the hard way. If you are feeling afraid or nervous to see or meet an extraterrestrial, they are not going to show up. Most of these ETs are just normal beings, I guess. They aren't out to scare people, and they pose no threat to you and me. If they were going to do something against the human race, they'd already done it. Back to your attitude, though. The last time I went out, I got less feedback than I've ever had. And I think it's because I was supposed to go out and do the CE5 with a friend, and he flaked on me the last minute. I don't mind going out alone, but it was a little bit of a letdown, so I was a little bit frustrated with him, and I maybe felt a little bit sorry for myself. But these UFOs can see right through you, and they don't want to deal with any drama. All they desire is peace and friendship, and if that's not what you're feeling in your heart, then they may or may not show up. Tip number 4 is manifestation. This is something that makes a huge difference for me. If I meditate and try to manifest encounters with these UFOs each morning and each night, just twice a day, then my CE5s are far more successful. If you don't know what manifestation is, I'd highly recommend you look into it. And tip number 5 is repetition. Just like with anything in life, repetition is literally the key. If you want to get better at something, you've got to put in the rounds. It makes all of the difference. So when you're out there doing a CE5, listen to the guided meditation. Then, when you're into it, do another one 30 minutes later or 20 minutes later. Do it over and over, and you will have success eventually, and you will see a UFO. You guys are probably wondering by now what is going on in the video. The video has been sped up, and these things that are flying across the screen are satellites. You might think, what is the point of that? Well, it's because I want you to see what a million normal satellites look like in the sky when they go by. Then I'm going to show you some anomalies and some blinkies. A blinky, like I've stated in my other videos, is the most basic form of communication from a UFO. It's just a flash in the sky, and sometimes they move around, but not like a satellite. I'm going to have timestamps in the video, so you guys are welcome to skip ahead to the Blinkeys and Anomalies section of the video, or you can get more familiar with the satellites by watching them for about another minute. I did forget to mention that at the end of the video, I'll be showing some of the shooting stars that I caught on camera, and I definitely recommend it because some of them are really beautiful. So you're going to want to look at the top rightish part of your screen, and you'll see the first anomaly that we have. It comes out of nowhere and flashes us, and then it turns off its lights for the most part. You can barely make it out moving across the screen. If you're watching on your phone, make sure you turn your brightness way up. But this anomaly moves across the screen and flashes us at random. It is nothing like the army of satellites that you guys just watched. Next, what we have is a flash, and I actually saw it in person, and when I did, I moved my camera to where I thought I saw it. My aim was slightly off, but you can still see it on the bottom right area of the screen now. From the first flash to the second, it seemed to have moved quite a bit, but after that, it starts moving very slowly. Way, way slower than any satellite moves. In a bit, some satellites will come on the screen, and you can compare just how much slower it actually moves. We see it get a bit dimmer and dimmer each time it flashes, but not every time. And the time between flashes is close, but it's not consistent, so it's definitely pretty weird. we're gonna see it flash one last time before it goes away for a while. Then about an hour later, I get a flash on camera, and right after it flashes again in a new spot right next to it. It could be the same object as before. I'd like to say so because it's the same exact size, but your guess is as good as mine. And that's going to do it for the anomalies. Here are the shooting stars, and I'd like to give everyone a big thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed, hit that sub button because there is a lot more to come, and I wish you a good night.